All right, hello everyone. Just doing a quick update. Pretty exciting. We ended up getting the back tire and wheel on, and got the new bolts in that had stripped about 2 weeks ago for the sprocket. And so the sprocket is mounted. We also got the chain on. Yeah, we got those. What is it? Five bolts, I think, on this
Mm-hmm.
on this one. Yeah, and got the chain mounted and got the gas tank on just kind of temporarily. It's not bolted down. Just see what it would look like, and then also the back seats. We're gonna reupholster the seat though, so it'll look a lot nicer later on. And then we'll also end up cutting this off probably right here, so it'll just be right here, and then we'll put probably a rear kind of fairing on the back of it to make it look a little more aerodynamic. And that, as you were saying too, the front what drive sprocket was
11
11
teeth.
teeth, and then the rear sprocket was 60 teeth for 5.5 to 1 ratio.
Right.
And you had put together a nice spreadsheet too, which we can put in on some of these videos later on, which was really nice and showed what based on rider weight, right, based on the incline, based on how fast you wanted to go,
Right.
based on how much power you have.
Right. Yeah, you wanted to cruise with the motor spinning at roughly 6,000 RPM,
Right, yeah.
going like 60, a little over 60, and so you wanted to be able to top off the motor at like 7 grand, like running on up to like 75 miles an hour.
Yeah.
For passing and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yet at the same time you could go up an incline, like particularly here in the Santa Cruz Mountains where you have a
Pretty
good
steep, yeah.
8-10% grade sometime, and you wanted to be able to do that at roughly 40 miles an hour. So the 5.5 to 1 was a nice combination of, like you say, the upper end and the torque going up the hill.
Yep.
You might also want to say too that the tank was, it's good that everything fits in it.
Yeah, we
A lot of
when
wires.
we were putting on the tank today, everything just kind of barely squeezed in there, and we had zip tied a lot of the wires, which is good just to keep things, in the right area and know exactly where things are going, and it helped, tighten everything up, which was good. From the other video, last week you could see how crazy it was here. It's still a little bit like that, but the wires are a little shorter now. Again, be careful when you're doing the throttle wiring. We had accidentally, when we were shortening the wires, put one wire, put the purple to black and the black to purple, and so when we turned it on, it
thought it was trying to be at full speed when
full speed. Yeah.
we wanted it to be 0.
So we had just put on the chain, we just put on the sprocket, and everything was on. And we go to try it, and we turn the key, and it immediately starts going at full speed. And this was, bear in mind, the first time we were trying to spin even the with the chain on and the sprocket and the rear tire. So, and it worked, but obviously trying it full load first time like this to test it. Luckily everything worked, because it could have thrown the chain off. It could have done a number of things. Could have thrown the front drive sprocket off too, and actually the set screw did come flying out of the from the drive sprocket, holding the sprocket in, and luckily the sprocket didn't go anywhere, but we have no idea where that set screw went, and it had to have been that crazy full throttle right off the bat that must have thrown it out, even though we have no idea.
Well, you
how
did a
it
good
happened.
job of turning the key off right away.
Yeah, we turned it off right away.
It didn't run too long.
Yeah, it didn't run
at that
too
high
long,
speed.
and yeah, obviously you don't want to run the motor at too high of RPM for too long. So luckily we got to it pretty quick. But we turned on the motorcycle. We can hear it kind of humming right now. Maybe you guys can hear that too.
Actually.
And then yeah.
One thing to note too is that you went with the 530 chain size, which
Yeah.
you know might be a little bit on the hefty side. It's a little larger than I think what the stock chain was, if I can recall.
I think it is a little.
But then
bigger.
the motor, you know, puts full
Bigger.
torque at 0 speed, so you wanted to go a little heavier. But
Yeah.
you know, it's certainly a lot beefier than what you see on a lot of electric motorcycles these days. But you know, but go ahead and run it. The one thing is it makes a little bit more noise than
Yeah.
what you'd like. But
So I mean, on Zero Motorcycles too, the company based out of Scotts Valley in California, they don't even have a chain. They have like a little, almost very tiny.
it's a cog belt, isn't it?
It's almost like a belt.
Yeah,
It's
cog
very
belt.
thin, and you know it's got teeth on one side, and you know, smooth on the other side, and just it's. You can check it out on their website, but it's for efficiency, but it's also for keeping it a little quieter too. And as you'll see in a second, you'll know what we mean by quiet too. So here we'll spin it just a little bit. See what RPM are in here.
Yeah, it was nice the way you put that momentary switch on the handlebars and
Yeah.
stuff for your menus.
Well, that was your idea, yeah. We did the start button
For the
for
conventional
the
bike.
original
Mhm.
bike to shuffle through the
The menu.
RPMs and menus and stuff for the thing that came with the controller. So let's see. Let's make sure we're not going. That's 700 RPM. 1,000. And we got up to 2,000 right there. So,
Mhm.
and like I said, what was it? 7,000 was.
7,000, your max
7,000
out, that's
RPM.
probably like, you'll be going about 75 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that was at 2,000, and you could go almost triple that, you know, it's gonna get loud. But you know, when you're riding, it's just like any bike. It's loud. You know, usually the engine noise masks that sound of that chain. Now you can definitely really hear it.
Yeah.
And another thing we were talking about was mounting the charger in here, and we're still thinking about that and how to do that. And we're making a little windscreen for the other Elite Power Solutions voltage and capacity and current charging display here, and it shows what each cell to what it's running at voltage wise. So yeah, I think that's kind of it for now for the video. But we'll check back in soon with some more of the charger and how we're gonna mount that.